Welcome back to my channel. We have another radio to unbox and first look. This is the TIDRadio TD-H3. It's a mouthful. This is a radio that I've personally heard over the air from another operator, and everyone on my local repeater was saying it sounded great. So I took to Amazon and I immediately ordered one. And this thing was pretty inexpensive. I think it was like $35.99, $36.99, somewhere around that neighborhood. I did order the crystal because I need everything to be clear because I'm weird, or I'm a 90s baby. So let's take a look at the radio. Let's see what you get. Immediately you got the manual there. This feels like a really nice manual. The TD771 antennas are situated beneath the pallet. Cool. Oh, and it's in color. That's a really nice thing to add, that like some color. You can get a gauge on where you're supposed to be in the menus and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool of them to do that. Product question card. We got a battery. The battery is 2500 milliamps at 7.4 volts. You get a belt clip, pretty standard, nothing there. This is the dock, the charging dock. It is Type-C, which is really nice to see. I don't like having the plug that's permanently attached to it, so this is really cool. I like that. Your normal headphone, microphone thing no one uses. I have like thousands of those in a bin somewhere. A lanyard. It feels sturdy. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break, but I probably would make one out of paracord or something. You got a Type-C and a brick in here. And the brick is 2 amps, 5 volts at 2 amps. That's pretty good if you need it. And you got your standard rubber ducky. This actually looks really nice. The quality just feels nice. The plastic, oh well, the rubber molding at that point. And then we have another battery, which at first I didn't know it came with 2, and wow. I didn't know this was in here. You get a long, what is this for? 120 to 480, I'm assuming, antenna, so 70 centimeter. Let's get rid of that. And then finally, another belt clip. So you got 2 belt clips. They really make sure you are taken care of when you get this radio. That is pretty dope. And for, what was it, $35, $38 probably? That's amazing. And there's the screen. I don't like the text there. It's distracting is one way to say it. But this case feels nice for it being like transparent. I hope it doesn't turn yellow over time when I'm outside. It looks like there may be a crack in there or a piece of glue. Like, I can't really tell. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but straight out the box, I don't know, that doesn't look like a crack though. It looks like glue or something in there. You got your SMA normal, your flashlight that I'm sure every user uses on these radios. PTT, some sort of action buttons or monitor buttons here. Let's test the buttons. They feel very solid. They're hard to press, but not hard that I would say it's a negative thing. These feel soft on top where you need it, but firm enough that you can press them with confidence. And then you got your mic headphone / programming, I think, and then Type-C. Pretty sure that's for programming. Don't quote me on that. And for the batteries, yeah, you can charge them separately too, which is nice. The batteries do have that Type-C charging separately. That is pretty dope. Well, let me put this on first. Let's put our antenna. Let's see how it fits in that little cavity. Oh, that is nice. The tolerance there is really nice. On a lot of the Baofeng radios, you'll have a gap there. I don't know about, I have a really old one, so like the gap was huge, but I've seen on the newer ones, it's pretty nice. But that is very nice. Let's put a battery. I hope I'm doing this right. There you go, it's clipped in. Let's turn on the radio. Let's see. Nice, so the screen looks very bright. I don't know if you can make it brighter. You do have, I think this is a power meter on the top. Yeah, it is, that's power. You have your dual channels down here, and then this is probably your current active channel. Timeout is pretty quick. 11. All right, you have a BT button. I'm bandwidth wide, okay. That's your back. Channel mode or VFO, which is cool right there. How do you get to menus? Do you just hold it? Oh, so if you hold it, that turns on your Bluetooth. And this can be programmed via Bluetooth, which is nice. If I end up doing that, I will show that at the end of this video, and you guys can take a look at that setup. But first impressions, this is really cool. Like, I love the transparent look. I wish the battery was transparent, but I'm pretty sure they mass produced these, so it wouldn't make sense to do that. But man, this is nice. This is really nice. Now, how do we change? That light is very bright. I don't know if it's because the case is transparent and it just goes through it. Man, that is bright. Brighter than most of the Baofengs I've seen. So these are both set to transmit. That's weird. Huh. All right, I will be back once I figure out how to mess with this thing. We are back. We're in a different location. Just moved to my actual computer area versus the workbench over there behind me. I haven't really had time to mess with this until recently. The past couple days I've been transmitting on my local repeaters and testing out the signal quality and the audio quality on this thing. And I've got some opinions. They're not all horrible, but I'll start out with the bad. It seems like the signal just randomly drops on this thing. Like I'll listen to a conversation on a repeater, and the next second there's nothing. It's just quiet, silence, mid conversation from the other person. And I think it's this antenna. I'm not too sure because I even had two radios sitting next to each other, this one and the Guangsheng, and this didn't lose signal. I kept hearing the conversation. This one just went silent. I don't know what it is, but I definitely would change the antenna and check that out. It might just be the antenna. It might just be where I am. I don't fault the radio for that, but it is something that I have experienced a couple times. In terms of bad, that's literally all I have for this radio. In terms of good, I do like the button placement. I love the way that they're up here instead of the bottoms, so I don't have to like hold it with the tip of my hand to try to input anything. I can just grip it like I normally grip it and just, input what I need to do, VFO, whatever, and it's fairly comfortable. Getting used to the transmit buttons was also a big thing. So, for example, if you're trying to transmit on your first channel here, it's this button, the bigger one. If you're trying to transmit on the second, it's this button. And this is really good because you have, dual watch, so you can listen to both channels and respond to any channel you want without having to switch the channel. Like on this one, I can't respond to anyone until I change that channel. I think you could change that in settings, I don't know, but that's just the way it came for me, and that's the way I've been using it. I also programmed it via Bluetooth on my phone. I couldn't get it to work with the Type-C. I don't know what's going on with that. It might just be my computer, maybe my chirp's too old. But the Bluetooth setup was pretty easy. I loaded up the app on my phone, read from the radio, that all worked. The channel names are pretty small. You can't really put a lot of information. I've heard on custom firmware you can, so I might be checking that out in a future video. But in terms of the phone app for programming, it was great. You had your dual frequency, one for receive, one for transmit, your tones, everything was there. You can even load up your repeaters in your area and it'll automatically input them onto the radio. I thought that was cool. I just didn't like that I had to go in and name them because they were automatically named the call sign of the repeater, which is a whole nother problem and it has nothing to do with this radio, but that was kind of annoying. I haven't tested the auto tone like finder that people use. I've never really had luck with that, so I just didn't even bother. The audio quality, amazing. No complaints about that. What else was there for this radio? I think for this initial, overview, I'm loving this radio. It's not the perfect best radio ever, but it has a lot of features that will get you to buy this over a Baofeng like UV5R, because those radios are pretty basic in terms of features. But this, you got the color screen, you have the 2 channels and the frequency, which is great. That's a big feature that I love, is that you can see the frequency you're on and the channel name that you're on, which is amazing. You have the dual key ups, like that's pretty dope. At first I didn't like it because I forgot and just it was a whole thing, but when you get used to it, it's a great feature. I really like that. The Bluetooth programming is great. You can program on the fly. This radio even has a clone option, so if you get another one of these and you don't want to go through programming it, I think you hold the PTT button and turn it on, and you can just clone it to another radio wirelessly. That's freaking cool. So yeah, we'll have some future activities with this radio. Maybe I'll mess around with some data modes, connecting it via Type-C or something, or just showing you guys how to install custom firmware, and we'll take it from there. And I really appreciate everyone who's tuning into the videos. Thanks for the subscribers and the community for backing me. I really appreciate it. We've reached 290 subs by the time this video goes up. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.